What's up, you guys? Teddy Striker here, and the UFC in 2025 has had some very odd title fights, to say the least. I feel like we haven't really seen the two best fighters in the world consistently fight for the undisputed title, and it seems like in 2026, the same thing is going to happen. We have Justin Gaethje fighting Paddy Pimblett for the undisputed lightweight title. Ilia Topuria is going to vacate his belt because of everything that he's got going on with his marriage and his kid and all that. So he probably won't be fighting until like August. So I'm pretty sure they're going to announce that there's going to be an undisputed title very soon. But this doesn't really feel like this is something the UFC should be doing. It feels like something boxing would do, because in the UFC, allegedly, the best fight the best, according to Dana White himself.
If you look at the way boxing is done, these guys try to steer clear of the tough fights, so that you can make more money and be 57-0 with fucking 57 knockouts and all that shit. But most of the records are padded and it's all bullshit. When you become a fucking world champion at the UFC, you went through death fucking row.
I think that narrative is done at this point in time. I think that the sport has gone through a different direction. I mean, if Paddy Pimblett does actually beat Justin Gaethje, can we really say he's the best in the world and that he really go through death row? I don't think we can say that, because he beat Michael Chandler to get a title shot, and then he beat Justin Gaethje, and Justin Gaethje is actually a really good fighter. He's a legend, but like, we've seen other fighters ranked above him actually lay him out and like beat him in pretty convincing ways. So I don't know if we can say that Paddy really went through the gauntlet and he's undoubtedly the best in the world. But clearly, since that's not the way to get a title shot anymore, well, like, what do you do? Like, if you're a guy like Laurel Murphy, what do you do if you're a guy like Arman Tsarukyan or Movsar Evloev? Well, I believe I have found some things that could, enlighten some guys on how they can get their own title shot. And with all that being said, let's get right into the first way you can get a title shot in the UFC in 2026. I think you have to be able to connect with the fans. The fans have to be invested in your story and want to see you fight and actually pay their hard-earned money to come see you fight. I mean, we've seen guys get a title shot after they've lost a fight. They get on a one-fight win streak, and then they get a title shot over fighters who were more deserving. I mean, the perfect example is Diego Lopez. I mean, the dude just lost to Volkanovski. He lost to Movsar Evloev in 2023 as well, but he's got on a one-fight win streak, and he's back in another title fight before a guy like Movsar Evloev, who has a win over him, and a guy like Laurel Murphy, both guys who are undefeated and who have arguably earned the title shot on paper more than a guy like Diego Lopez. But since Diego Lopez is a fan favorite and people love to see him, the UFC gave him the shot. So I think it is very important to have a strong connection with the fans so they can pay to watch you fight, even if you have a long win streak. I think in 2026, you gotta flip the script and you gotta find a way to connect with the fans. But moving on to another way you can get a title shot in 2026, and that is in order to have a good relationship with the UFC, I think you should try to stay active. The UFC loves when fighters stay active.
I've been in this game my whole life. I've never seen anything like him. He's special. He's different. He wants to fight again. So, I've never been in a position where I'm like, who's next? How do we get him a fight? How do we get him over here? How do we do this? How do we do that? It's fun and I like it. And I think when you're a fight fan, a guy like this is the type of guy that you love to watch and follow and hate.
The UFC also love when fighters just always accepts contracts and they don't turn fights down. And also they love when fighters take fights on short notice. And to be honest, even if he gets stomped out right away in the first round, the UFC is still gonna love you. They're still gonna be like, you did us a favor, so we're gonna come back and do you a favor in the future. We're gonna take care of you because you stepped up and you saved our company, you saved our image, you saved our money, so we're gonna take care of you. But the main reason you want to have a good relationship with the UFC is because you're going to have Dana White privilege.
I'm gonna be real. You got this shit handed to you. You got Dana White privilege.
Tony. Thanks, Dana.
I mean, when you have that, you don't have to, like, I mean, it's in the name itself, Dana White's privilege. So that's definitely something you want to have. It'll make everything easier. But yeah, if you have a good relationship with the UFC, you're going to get Dana White privilege, and you're almost 99% sure to get a title shot next. But moving on to another way you can get a title shot in 2026, and that is
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that? You
My
broke
back is broken.
What?
I don't give a f.
there's nothing the UFC hates more than when a fighter pulls out of a main event, especially if it's a title fight. And if you do it the week before, wow, you are bold. Even if you're injured, like, you might as well just fight, because you're never getting another opportunity. I mean, look at Arman Tsarukyan now. The dude is clearly the number one contender, but he's, like, Dana White's saying, go kick rocks. Like, you think you're going to get a title shot? No way. That is a guaranteed way to make sure you're never getting a title shot. I mean, you're so close. Like, and you pull out, like, that late. I mean, the UFC is going to be fuming. And it's kind of understandable, but at the same time, it's like, what if, like, something really, like, serious happened to the fighter? Like, sometimes you just can't help it. Like, you got to rebook the fight. I mean, the UFC has backup fighters for a reason, so use the backup fighters and rebook the fight, or make the fighter, like, win one more fight, and then they can get another title shot. But completely, like, icing them out from even being in title conversations is crazy. So as a fighter in 2026, as a UFC fighter in 2026, it's imperative that you do not pull out of a main event, especially if it's for a world title. It doesn't matter if you're injured. I mean, it'll just make your victory even sweeter. As soon as you win, you can be like, well, I won with a broken hand. I won with a torn ACL. I won with a broken back. I won with, like, one eye. Like, you can say whatever you want as soon as you win. But if you pull out of the fight, like, wow, good luck, because the UFC does not like that at all. But moving on to another way you can get a title shot in 2026. You have to call your shot. I mean, sure, you can be a fighter that thinks winning solves everything, but sometimes you might have to work smarter than working harder. And calling for a title shot might get you that opportunity that you might have had if you just kept fighting and kept grinding. And maybe you didn't really want to do something that was kind of out of character for you. But sometimes you just have to call your shot, and you might actually get it. I mean, looking at the lightweight division in 2025 and hearing a guy like Justin Gaethje say something like,
they owe me a championship fight. I'm 3-1. They came to my house, begged me to fight Max Holloway on UFC 300. And then since I've won, the champion's been saying he wants to fight me. And so they could have easily set that up, but they didn't. Then he vacates, and then Oliveira's 2-2 in his last fight. Already has a loss to Makhachev, and they bring a brand new guy in. And I get, again. So I'm not going to fight any of these motherfuckers for fun unless they pay me so much more money.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
Justin Gaethje was essentially saying that unless he gets a title shot, he's not going to fight these guys, because he's going to ask for an unbelievable amount of money that the UFC is probably not going to be willing to pay, considering he's not really like if it was John Jones and the UFC would pay him because of everything he's done. And Justin Gaethje, he's a legend, but he's not a John Jones legend. So the UFC is probably not going to be able to, or they're not going to be willing to pay him that much money. So they either have to give him a title shot, or the dude is gone. Which sounds completely crazy, but in 2026, that is what you have to do. You have to call your shot. You have to essentially put a gun to the UFC's head and tell them,
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
But anyways, moving on to the last way I think you can get a title fight in 2026, and that's going to be if you have a long win streak, but all of your wins are by decision, the UFC might not give you a title shot. They want highlights. Everybody loves to see a knockout. Everybody loves to see a submission. We need something on your highlight reel. But if all there is it's just you getting your hand raised because they're reading off a decision, then chances are they're not going to look at you. I mean, look at Mazarevlov. The guy is like 9-0 in the UFC, but they're all decision victories. He's got a great resume, but he's not finishing people. And you can have all the skills in the world, all the technical ability, but at the end of the day, if you're not able to finish and get that goal in the net, the UFC is not going to be looking at you. They're going to look at you sideways and they're going to say, yeah, move along, kid. We got something else here. So on top of having a good win streak, you gotta be able to rack those finishes up, and then the UFC will look at you. So overall, I think that if you combine most of these things, I think that you will be able to get a title shot if you're able to finish fights, if you're a fan favorite, or if you have a good relationship with the UFC. I think there's no reason why you shouldn't be getting a title shot. I mean, it'd be pretty crazy otherwise, but yeah, hopefully this is helpful to understand like what the UFC does now to give fighters title shots, and I hope this is in the way that is going to be moving forward. I hope that the UFC goes back to their old way of matchmaking. We'll see what happens. Either way, thank you guys for watching. God bless. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.